All right, we're going to start off today by downloading all of our SketchUp files, the SKP files from the Schoology assignment. So I'm going to download this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this particular video, I'm going to be skipping a lot of the steps, kind of the in-between things, because this assignment takes a lot of time, but it's not very difficult. So you're going to be doing a lot of things to adjust on your models, but I'm not going to show you every bit of that. I'm going to allow you to play with that on your own. Okay, next step is we're going to open up SketchUp in a different window. And we're going to open the first one, which is going to be Move Tool 1. Okay, I'm going to close that window so we can see it a little bit closer. And I'm going to hit Save. So this will be one of those things that on the next ones, I'm going to tell you to save, but not show you every step. So this is going to be Move Tool 1. Let's hit Save. Okay. So our first scene here is going to be puzzle 1, okay? So we're going to zip in on this puzzle. This is very fun. So we're going to be working with the Move tool and the Selection tool. So if you guys remember, the Selection tool, the keyboard shortcut, is the space bar. So I can select different things, with, and then the Move tool is M, and that gives me this. So I want to make sure that the correct piece is selected. And I'm actually going to move this into this bin. It's like a child's puzzle. But you need to be strategic about matching things up, because you can, with the Move tool, push things like into the desk. For example, like you can push it subterranean, you can pull it up so it's floating in space. So like, sometimes when you move things like that right there, and I toggle around, you can see the puzzle pieces floating up. So it's not following the rules of gravity or, just solid. So we need to be strategic about placement. So I think a good placement would be this corner here, that upper corner, to this corner here. Okay, so I'm going to click on that corner, and then I'm going to drag and place right here. So if you're strategic about your selection and your placement, you can get really nice, crisp placement that is not above or below where you want it. So I'm going to do that again here. Whoops, just kidding. So you can see that I hadn't planted this. So do that again, corner here to corner there. And now I'm going to select with the space bar the next piece. And then select Move tool, grab here, and then I'm going to place that right here. Allow you guys to go ahead and fill in the rest of the pieces in the puzzle. And then save it and put your name on the desk. Okay, so here we have the, it's all together with the signature. My first snip. Okay. Second snip, we're going to go on our scenes again. We're going to go up to puzzle 2, which is going to jump up to the top of the desk. We have a second puzzle to practice with. Again, this is the same basic thing. You're going to place the puzzle pieces. It's just more practice. So this particular, so remember, select, type M, choose the correct point, and then snap that to a point on the model. This part is, I mean, it should be pretty fun, but it's all about practice using the tools. Again, select, grab a specific corner. I'm going to use that one right there. Grab it and snap it to the correct spot. So I'm going to pause it, jump to being finished, and insert my signature. Okay, we jump back. The puzzle is completed. Signature is inserted. and we take our second snip. Okay, third snip. You can select the scenes over here. We're going to go to the blocks on the right. So these blocks, I want you guys to stack these according to color. So this is just practice on making sure that these, more practice with the move tool. Just be careful. They're not all lined up perfectly, so you can't really snap the edges. So you're going to have to kind of play with that rotate. And remember that the rotate tool can be accessed on the move. If you see there are these red arrows that kind of go up here, so you can kind of like snap these by selecting them. It might be a good thing to do first. If I select block, type M, tap on the top, and you can see these red. So it'll toggle back and forth between the move tool and the rotate tool if you go up to the top of these. So I would just recommend straightening them all up, and they kind of will snap. Let's see. They kind of will snap. You can see that there's a red inference line there. So we can snap them all to the red inference line first before you start stacking them. All right, so we're going to do stacks of red, green, and blue. I'm going to let you guys do that. I'm going to do it myself, and we'll come back in a moment. One thing I'd like to show you guys that will help, I'm in the process of stacking these, is that you can actually, so let's say that I have this green one kind of snapped to the red axis. It's nice and square. And let's say I want to bring this down and place it right here. I can select it with the selection tool, type M. I can grab a lower corner, then go down until it says on face and group. When I place it there, and I kind of toggle around, you'll see it's actually on the surface of the group, which is the desk. So that will prevent you from shoving it inside the geometry, which is we don't want. Okay. Just kidding. On facing group. There we go. Okay, so we're back and they're all stacked up. It's going to be snip number 3. There we go. We're going to go back to scenes and we're going to go to points. Jump down on the desk here. Make sure we're in the selection tool. We're going to kind of scroll in and we're going to manipulate the geometry on this piece of paper here. So we're going to use the move tool and you can grab endpoints of geometry that are on a plane and kind of pull them around, kind of to warp them. So I just want you to kind of mess this up a little bit. Mess this guy up, mess this one up. Okay, just really like mess with them. And then you're going to notice, okay, that on this one, you can't. You'll see that the entire shape moves. So what you're going to do instead is we're going to right click on this and you're going to see this one that says explode curve. We're going to click on that. Now all of a sudden you should be able to select individual points and warp the geometry. You may have to click in and out of the select tool, but if you want to bend shapes that won't let you bend them, you can just hit explode geometry and it breaks it apart. Okay, so we got that all taken care of. Now what we're going to do is we're going to practice rotating all of these pencils on the table. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pencils on the table. So I'm going to zoom in on, I'm going to scroll around like this and zoom in on this pencil. And I'm going to select on the side here Okay, I'm going to select on the side this rotation. Okay, and I'm going to turn this pencil so that it is vertical, and then also move this whole thing so that the point is just barely sticking out of the table, like that, on the blue axis. So you can rotate around it to make sure that it's like that. And then what we're going to do is I want you guys to stand them up at the edge of this paper right here. Okay, at this point, when they're all lined up, all 5 pencils, throw your signature on there. You've got your warped geometry on the piece of paper, and take your next snip. It's going to be snip number 4, I believe. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to place all of the pencils inside the jar. So again, you know, these things don't behave like solids, so you can actually pass them straight through. We're going to select this, go M for the move, and we're going to shove it inside until it looks pretty correct. I'm going to make sure it's actually inside the jar. And we're going to continue doing that. This doesn't look correct. We're going to continue doing that until all of our pencils are inside the jar. Whoops. Well, just trust me, all of them are inside the jar. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys do that on your own. Make sure you get all of the pencils inside the jar, and then slap your signature down on the desk. That's going to be snip number 5. All right, so once you have all the pencils inside, I'm going to take new snip, that's snip 5. Okay, at this point, we're going to save this. We're going to go back to home. We're going to go open My Computer, and you're going to open up Move Tool 2. All right, remember to save this. All right, this one, so we're going to start on the, oops, wait. Just getting this frame right here. Really like how this one zoomed in. Okay, move this over. So as you guys remember, you can use the selection tool with the move tool to extend walls of kind of like frames like this, which is going to be really helpful when you guys start your PBL. It's just being very, very careful with the selection tool. So I'm going to swing around this, making sure to get a bounding box around this wall, select it, go to the move tool, select this wall, and then drag out. I can drag out maybe 10 feet and hit enter, and it pops that like that. Okay, we're also going to select these 2 windows using a bounding box. This one's a little harder. Not too bad. We're going to select that, use the move tool, select on the face here, and then drag to the left until they're kind of like that close. I'm going to drag out. We're going to select this wall, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to move on this face out maybe 10 feet as well. So to kind of get that kind of picture. So it's all just practice on that. Go ahead and put your name in the center. Okay, arrange it the way you want it. Take this snip. This is going to be snip number 6. Okay, we're going to go to our scenes. We're going to click on the frame right here and close this up so we have some room. We're going to adjust the frame, kind of do a selection box around this and the mat inside of it. I'm going to go to the M, the move tool on this face, and actually this one wants me to only move on the edge, so I can drag on the edge out. You kind of have to play around with it. You can select this lower portion, M. You can go on the edge here. Oops, wait. Make sure that you're dragging down in the blue direction on the blue axis. Very fussy. So just go ahead and make that bigger, kind of proportionally bigger. Put your signature in the center. That's snip number 7. I threw my signature inside the frame. We're going to take a snip here. 7. Final one in this one is going to be these walls right here. So what we're going to do is we want to move this section. And this is going to be an exercise in the selection tool. So we're going to go inside, we're going to pick this, but you can see it's very easy to select extra geometry. And if I was going to move this right now with the move tool on this face, and then go ahead and grab this and move like that, it's going to warp the geometry. You can see it's doing weird things to the back edge. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to undo that. One easy thing to do is to select this over here on the Scenes tab, and it's an orthographic view, so we can actually just look straight down on it. And this allows us to do very, very exact selections. So, so I can go ahead and move this. It's very squirrely. Okay, I can go ahead and move this move tool on this face, and it doesn't mess up anything else. Okay, you can play around with this model in here, just select things, moving them, but remember to select, you want to select straight down on specific things so that we can just select the pieces we want and not the pieces we don't. So the selection tool is a crucial part of the move tool in order to get it to work properly. Type M, select on this face and pull this direction. This is going to come in handy when you guys are designing your PBLs. I'm going to place my signature on this face, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit with my altered geometries. Whoops. There we go. Out of that, take a screenshot. Perfect. Okay, the next one, I'm going to open this up, go to Home, go to Open, My Computer, Downloads. I'm going to move tool 3 and open this up. This is going to be one where we're going to practice using the Offset tool. Go ahead and save this. Move tool 3. This one does not have scenes that will snap in, which is unfortunate, but that's all right. So we're going to zoom in on these and tip it like this so we can see the top. What we're going to do is practice using the Offset tool, which is right here. And we're going to use the offset. Remember, you always want to go click there and then pull in. We're going to do that on each of these. We're going to, oops. Now I'm going to click on this one, the offset tool, edge, and I'm going to drag inside. That was being fussy for me. Select, oops. I'm going to select selection tool here, go offset tool right here, on edge, and drag inside here. So, this silly thing didn't work here. It didn't stick. Okay, so we have offset on all 3 of these shapes. Now you're going to see with the move tool selected, I can select this with the move tool and I can actually drag this, but it will only drag in the direction of the plane. So if this is visible, if I go from here, I can't lift up. It's always sideways. It won't allow me to pull in the blue direction. This is actually, you can play with it yourself. It's all on the same plane. Redo that. So in order to do that, you have to like pull the shape up. We can go to the line tool, which is L. We can draw little lines here, here to here, here to here, and then select the center thing, hit the move tool, and now I can pull up the blue axis. So having that that geometry on the sides, these are called creating folds, and it's almost like origami. So you need to be able to have that sideways geometry in order to pull it up. Now there is a way that SketchUp will allow you can actually hold down Alt on Windows or Command on Mac. So I select the center here. Oops, wait, it's still attached to the old geometry. Okay. So now, using the select tool, I go here, M for move. I can click on this and then hit Alt. If I hold Alt down, it actually will do an auto fold for me. So instead of adding in the lines, it will auto fold for me. So I select on this, hold down Alt, or type M. Okay, M, down Alt, and then lift up in the blue axis direction. And you can see it actually creates fold. That's pretty cool. I'll scoot over here to this kind of strange shape here. Select the inside geometry, tap move tool, Alt, grab it, and drag up. So it allows me to kind of create these like 3D shapes. There are limitations though, as your shapes get more complex and have more bends in them, or more curves. So if I select this move tool, Alt, and I go to drag up, you can see that it creates all kinds of crazy bends. So just be aware of that as you start pulling up more complicated shapes. It will kind of you will have to kind of go in and clean up some of those edges. Okay, so we're going to go to a place where we can see all of it. I'm going to save it just in case. Drag over here. Okay, and then just go ahead and throw in your signature and take a snip. This is going to be snip number 9, I believe. If ever you place your signature and you want it tipped up, instead you can go to the edge and toggle to the edge of the snip or the signature, select it, and you can actually use the rotate tool and go to the midpoint right there, and you can toggle. So I can plant it with one key and then toggle. I'm just kidding. I know that it works though. Okay, yes, I knew it worked. So you can actually you just want to hover over the corner, and then you can use the arrow keys. One more time. You go here and hover over this, so you can use the arrow keys. So there has to be a reason why this is working sometimes and not working other times. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I have no idea why this works sometimes and does not work other times, but you can toggle with your arrow keys, like this, 1, 2, and then swing this down so it looks like a tag. We can use the move tool, actually move this up. So it'll kind of look like a banner in the front if you want. You don't have to do that though. Okay, This is going to be snip number 9. Oops. Okay. It's always good to make those big mistakes when you get 25 minutes into something, but okay. The last one, we're going to open up Move Tool 4. Over here on the left, we go Home, go Open from my computer, Downloads, Move Tool 4. All right, save it. SketchUp Tool. Okay. So we have 3 items in this, on this kind of sidewalk. And the sidewalk, you don't know this, but the sidewalk is actually 100 feet long. So we have these things, and we want them, in order to duplicate them, we want them to be components. Okay, so what I'm going to do is right click on them. When you see this edit component right here, we know that it's already a component. Remember, component C for copy. We want to make a copy, make it a component. So that's already a component. I right click on this, edit component, no problem. I right click on this guy and see how it says edit group. That we don't want that. We want to go make component. Now, I just learned this type of like barricade here is called a bollard. B-O-L-L-A-R-D. So we're going to save it as bollard. Fun fact, when I had my old car, like 4 days old, I opened my door into a bollard and put a big ball-shaped dent in it that I had for 14 years. So anyway, learn from my mistakes, children. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to edit this sidewalk, okay? So I go into this, and it is a group, so I have to go inside the geometry. And let's say that I want to select this edge, and I want to repeat it like breaks in a sidewalk all the way down this. So I go on this, and then I go to the Move tool, and you can see, oh no, I don't want that. But if I tap Control, I'll leave the original one there and create a copy. So I have no hands on the keys right now, so I'm just dragging in this direction. Okay, it's always click, move, click to place. I'm going to type 10 feet, and hit enter. Okay, now this is 100 feet long. So I actually also, without clicking anything else, I want to duplicate that 9 more times. This is an array. We actually did this on the play structures, but it's been a while. So then what you do, I've done it 10 feet and then 9 more times. So I go 9x. You can see that down in the distance box down in the lower right, and I tap enter, and actually will array that out at 10-foot intervals 9 more times down the strip. Now, if I have not touched any other tools, I can continue to alter this. Like, let's say that I wanted them at 5-foot intervals. So I can go 5 foot and enter. See, it did them at 5-foot intervals. I need twice as many. So I need 19, 19, enter. Whoops. Did 19 foot. So actually, let's go back. 5 foot, enter, 19x. And there we go. Okay. So that's kind of a busy looking sidewalk. So I want to go back to the 10 feet, enter. But I only want 9 of them, 9x. Okay. That looks nice. I'm going to tap the selection tool, tap outside of the geometry to close that component. Now I'm going to show you the really cool stuff. So let's say, so I have this bollard here. Okay, and remember this whole sidewalk is 100 feet long. Okay, so let's say that I want to create a copy and I want to move it, let's say it looks like it's about a foot from the end here. So let's say I want to move it 98 feet down, and that'll give me another foot on the end. So I'm going to grab it, type M tool, start to move it. Whoops, wait, I'm going to undo that move really fast. I'm going to click it on the corner of the bollard, go this direction. Remember, I am moving it down, but I tap Control, it leaves a copy there. And I want to go down 98 feet and hit enter. So there's one all the way at the end of this. Okay. Now, before you type anything else, if you've moved this all the way down, what I can do is I can type, let's say that I want 9 bollards in between these. I can actually type 9 / and you can see that in the distance box down below, and hit enter. It will evenly space out 9 bollards in between, which is pretty stinking cool. Now, if I don't move any other tools and I just keep typing, I can actually go, okay, well, maybe that looks a little busy. I can go 7 divided by, enter instead. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm like, well, if you really want to talk passenger, pedestrian protection here, a car could squeak in between this and hurt someone who's sitting at that bench. So maybe we want to put more bollards up, and we want to go 14 / and hit enter. We'll throw 14 in between. So it's very, very cool and does all the math for you, so you don't have to do what we were doing with the spaces on the sidewalk. Now, you can actually also select more than one thing. So I can select this and hold down for control click that one, so I get 2 of them together. I can, once they're selected, I go to my move tool. I'm going to select lower corner and continue on the face in the group. Tap control, that leaves one back there. Okay, and maybe I want to put it, maybe I want to put it, I don't know, 10 feet in that direction. Okay, that doesn't really seem like it's enough. Okay, maybe I'll do 15 feet. I can change it like that. All I'm doing is typing. I'm not moving anything. If you wanted to do 20 feet, you could do that. We could, and then I can repeat that maybe 4 more times for X down the road, and just hit enter, and it will repeat that at equal intervals all the way down. Okay. What you're going to do now is paste your signature, take a snip. That's snip number 10. All right, that's your final snip. Well done.